Good evening. I would prefer not to use this microphone this evening, but my voice has slowly been going away since we returned from the Big Ten Championships this past weekend, and we had to dig our two-wheel drive rental out of a foot of snow. So they should not rent cars with Florida tags north of Kentucky. So, first of all, let's please give a round of applause for Jamie and Kelly, Bethany, everybody that helped us tonight together. It really is a blessing to us as coaches that you all have faith in us and you trust us with your children. There have been times in our career at Page we didn't meet parents until this night. And I was like, man, that's some blind faith you have in us. And they always say thank you, and I'm like, thank you. So I've always felt like our banquets are celebrations. And that's what tonight is. Tonight is a celebration of the success that we have as a program. And you as parents are part of that success. Because without your support and your encouragement and your care for these young men and our one lady, it wouldn't be possible. So, team, let's please give a round of applause to everybody else in this room. I would be remiss if personally, and I think Marsh and Dylan would agree, that we cannot do this without the blessings of our wives. I mean, they are saints. You know, Greg's and Jen's, they're out of the house now, and Dylan and Mel have one, but personally, Anne-Marie is an angel. For her to love two kids, and I think a lot of you learned this year, Lillian takes after me, she is not an angel. And so we thank you all so much and love you so much for allowing us to do what we love outside of our own families. So thank you all very much. So let's get started. I wish I could tell you all everything that happens in the year. You cannot write the stuff that happens in our wrestling program. You just can't do it. The best writers in Hollywood cannot come up with the stuff that these people create. Marsh used to have it running notes on his phone and just random stuff he would put in there. And we would talk about it. And all the guys, they asked me, I think Chase asked me recently, he goes, you know, do you sit and you write everything about everybody on the team and you say it about them? And I'm like, absolutely not. Everything I say tonight comes from right here. That, and honestly, I don't want you all to know half the stuff these people do. Okay? That's kind of our thing. We get to laugh about it and they get to laugh about it. And some of you might be really embarrassed or ashamed that those things even came out of their mouth. Not that they're bad things. You would just think that your kid is the most uneducated kid in the world. So, but we love these guys. We love them. And we get to know them. They asked me when I had my second daughter, when I had Caroline, they were like, Coach, does that make you sad that you don't have any sons? And I was like, no. I got 38 and I can barely make it with. The gray hairs forming in my head are from the people in this room right now. All right. So you all are. I love every one of you. We all do. We're going to celebrate you tonight. I might get a little emotional. All right. Especially with you seniors. All right. What I miss. Hey, out with the old, in with the new. All right, guys, we're going to bring you up on stage tonight. Be careful, it's a slender stage. First, we're going to recognize our state qualifiers. So, qualifiers are going to come up and just remain on stage. Okay, first up, qualifying this year at 115 pounds, Cosmo O'Neill. Nathan Simpson. Next up at 126, Thomas Brown. Mr. Cannon Drake. Next up at 138, Mr. Grant Hawkinson. Next at 152, Mr. Brooks Garner. At 160, Mr. Josh Ward. At 182, Mr. Ethan Ward. At 195, Mr. Kyle Kowalski. And at 285, Mr. Ronan O'Connell. These 10 individuals made school history. This is the most state qualifiers Page High School has ever had. Congratulations. I'd also like to thank personally, and I think we should all do it, Eric, I want to thank you because you, every match, are sitting there filming. Now, Eric does get plus because he gets to go where a lot of you can't go with that camera. But we appreciate everything you do because without you, these guys couldn't watch the footage, break down our matches, and study each one of our progressions throughout the season. So, Eric, thank you very much. All right, we're going to recognize our coaching staff tonight. We got one coach here tonight. We have two coaches that a lot of you freshman parents and JV parents say are worth more than gold because they sit who've done the longest tournaments that we don't have to. And I say we are very blessed. Our coaching staff is made up of Page people, Page alumni. We don't have anybody from outside. Marsh and I are the outsiders. Everybody else on our coaching staff has wrestled in our program and came back because they loved our culture and our program, and we take that to heart every year. So Coach Dayton Davis couldn't be here with us tonight, but we do have one of the best coaches around, Mr. Cole Weiner. We are also very blessed. These two guys are great. They're with us all the time. I'll talk about each of them a little independently. I love each of these guys like they're my brothers. I love Chase the most because he kept me from having to wrestle Ronan. All right? Same thing with Dylan. And Coach Marsh is not allowed to wrestle heavyweights. His heavyweight back in the day injured him, and so it promised to his wife was no more heavyweights. Well, they haven't made that promise yet. So, some of the funniest things though is I know I don't want to go on that side of the mat when I look over and I see both of these two guys in the air. But I still risk it. So, please thank and put your hands together for two of the most amazing young men that we can have in our program, Dylan Davis and Chase Tony. You had to be up here so you were as tall as those two on the Of course, I couldn't do it without Greg. Greg has been with me from the beginning. This is our 15th year now. And we started, there were 6 guys in the room when I took over this program. And I did it by myself. I was the manager, the coach, and everything. And then, you all know, halfway through January, this random guy comes up the stairs. He's like, hey, I'm Greg. I used to be a wrestler and coach. Do you need some help? And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Yes. And we've been together ever since. And so, brother, I love you. Thank you for everything. Part of the success and the history we make is because of the coaches in this room. So thank you very much, guys. Now, we have, in my opinion, I love all athletic trainers. I have a great rapport, I think, with all the athletic trainers in our county. But we have the best. And one thing that I love about V, she is very get on the mat, get back to it. She is a no nonsense when there doesn't need to be any nonsense. And I think we're her favorite team because she could be up in the gym watching basketball practice, but she prefers to be down there watching us. So V, we could not do it without you. We love you. You mean the world to us. Thank you for everything. You do got to come up here and get your All right. Come on, Maggie. Come on up stage. Hey, from now on, let's go up the stairs. Let's act civilized. Never mind. Hey, here's your stuff. All right. So, in case you all don't know, so I don't know if you all know, but Maggie is incredibly talented. Maggie can sing. Maggie is an amazing at rodeo. She's very talented. And so we didn't get Maggie as much as we did this year because she is pursuing those avenues. And we understood that. That was kind of the deal I made with Maggie a long time ago. But Maggie, you're very special to us. And I never have to worry about if the score is right or wrong when Maggie is in the corner. Okay? Now, keep that in mind. Now, when Maggie is not there, Coop gladly fills in. But reading Cooper's writing is like reading hieroglyphics. Alright? I would just trust what the opposing coach says instead of what Cooper says. Okay? I love you too, Coop. So, here's my story about Maggie. Every year I have something special written on Maggie's plaque. Okay? So Maggie's plaque this year says, what's it say?
You're super special.
You are super special, you're super important. Okay? Because she is. So we're in the sectional finals. And there is a discrepancy in the score. And I immediately look for Maggie. I've already told you this story, so you know. Okay. Maggie is in the bleachers with Caleb. And I lose my mind. All right, for all of you that saw that, I couldn't. She has one job. She has one job. One job. Now Dylan's over there. He's like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I was okay. But I was like, go get Maggie. And so Maggie came down, and Anne-Marie tells me that I need to watch because I have two girls, and I need to learn how to talk to girls better. And I'm coaching girls lacrosse right now, if y'all don't know that, and I'm doing better at that. But we are 5-0, and they're playing tonight, and they're very mad that I'm here and not there. Unrelated. Anyway, so Maggie comes down, and I proceed to tell Maggie that she has one job, and she should have been there, and not up there. And Maggie cries. And I don't care. And I rip the book out of Maggie's hand, and I'm like, Maggie! Well, and Maggie's crying. And I'm like, Chase, go tell Maggie she can come down and apologize to me. And I'll let her back on the book. So she did, and I was like, Maggie, I need you to understand something. You have a very, very important, super important job. So, on her plaque this year, it says you are super important, so that she never ever forgets how much she means to me in this program. Maggie, we love you. Thank you so much. We have, in our coach's office, we have plaques. And the plaques stay in there, and they are awards that, when I got the page, these plaques existed. And then there was nothing from like 1997 to when I arrived in 2009. Nothing. So I was like, well, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to continue this tradition. And so the plaques they are at the store being engraved. They will be done, and they will be hanging in our wall. But we as a coaching staff go through, and there are just 4 simple categories. There's based on season records, best season record, most pins in a season, our team record and finish, and then we choose who we thought our best wrestlers for the year were. So, best season record, these 2 names will go on the plaque forever. These 2 individuals had 42 wins. There are 2 individuals. Please put your hands together for Mr. Thomas Brown and Mr. Josh Ward. Most pins in a season. With 30 pins out of his 42, Mr. Josh Ward. We had an overall dual record of 32-10. My goal, each of these people set their own goals. They set their own goals, but my goal at the beginning of the year was to do something we've never done before. To win the traditional, region, and section. We have got 3rd, 4th, 2nd, multiple times, but we've never won. And so I told the guys, this year I want to win. Last year we had it won and we let Tullahoma come back and claim both of them. But this year they did it. You all did something that no other team in Page history's done. You won the traditional and the dual region and sectional championships. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you. Now, as a coaching staff, there's a lot that goes into who we think really goes on that plaque for the year for outstanding wrestlers. There's a lot of you all that could go on there. But this year we decided on 2. Please put your hands together, Mr. Grant Hawkinson, Mr. Ronan O'Connor. I would also like to recognize 3 individuals for going on the 100-match plaque. With 126 career wins, Mr. Josh Ward. With 140 career wins, Mr. Grant Hawkinson. And I failed to count and see where he ranks, but I know you're going to be in the top 5 in school history with career wins. With 148 career wins, Mr. Thomas Brown. Alright, so here we go. I'm not going to speak long because we have a lot of wrestlers, so I'll give it my best. We're going to start with our freshmen, and then we're going to work our way up to our seniors. If you have never lettered in a sport, you will receive your plaque, your acrylic, you'll receive a varsity letter and a pen. Upperclassmen, I forgot the bars. Come see me tomorrow. I'm sorry. Got it on the plate today. Come get your bar. But you get a letter, a pen, and your award. So, receiving a letter and pen, Mr. Kason Herman.
Hand in the mic. Hand in the mic.
So, for my speech, it was a pretty good year. This is a minute, right? Alright, so, my Gator one was pretty good. The team overall was pretty good. We got a lot of wins. The matches were really boring, though. Waiting for the matches was probably like the worst thing ever. The sprints were fun, though. We should do more of those. Exactly.
I know Jason, I was like, hey man, it's tradition. All freshmen have to get speeches. And then I told all the other freshmen, I was like, hey, if Jason asked, tell him I'm going to get a speech. So this is where I get to talk about you. Alright, so if you don't know, we always get to like the first quarter of our season, and I'm like, we need a 106 pounder. And they go find us one. Well, usually they find us one that weighs like 100 pounds, and they bring me one and he weighs 88. I'm like, all right, I'll take him. And I'm like, Casey, I was like, you will win half your matches on forfeits, trust me. And then I gave him a singlet. He's like, I ain't going up there. And I was like, man, just go up there, 30 seconds, you'll get your hand raised. Casey, watching you wrestle is one of the most fun things in my life. I will hold you over a trash can to puke every year you step into this game. Watching these guys win matches makes me happy. But watching little fellas like you get out there and wrestle warms my heart like no other. Maybe it's because I was a little fella at one point, a long time ago. But I am so glad you're here. And I know you're like, I don't know if I'm wrestling next year. Yes, you are. You're wrestling next year. Okay? You are the varsity 106 for the next 30 years. I got Alan Brown. You do not have to give a speech. So, I didn't really know what I was getting with Alan if I were to compare him to Thomas. But Alan might speak 5 more words a year than Thomas. So, Alan, it was great. You and this freshman class are outstanding. I love you all, but I don't see you as much as Dylan, who would say probably opposite of you all, because you hang out in his room all the time. But knowing the leadership that you bring to the team and the drive to keep going, and I know that when we move up to classifications, our future is going to be just as successful. My best thing about you is that you spent 200 hours at the JV state tournament without complaint. So thank you very much. Wyatt Ellis. So Wyatt comes to us, he's an experienced wrestler, we look forward to seeing him on the mat, and it was really your tenacity never to say no. What we value the most in you, look for you, is that given every opportunity, you took the mat without complaint. Especially when we asked you if you wanted to represent the team in the varsity regional, and you went 100% without hesitation. And it's that drive and that heart that leads us to believe that you and your classmates are going to help us stay on top going forward. Thank you, Wyatt. I will tell you one thing about this freshman class. They bleed a lot. They kept, Maggie at the table busy, me busy, V busy. So I was one of those. I was like, hey, just fuck that nose for good, bro. But it's one of those things, your tenacity to step on with the varsity guys and upperclassmen and never step down, never step away, always give them a match, is what leads all of us to be better in this program. So we look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the next 3 years. Thank you, sir. Huntley Peck. I should say, too, on their plaques is our dual record and then their individual varsity record. Now, at lunch one day, I consulted with the brain trust of Kowalski, Connell, and Meeks. And I said, guys, let me get your opinion on something. I said, what if some of these guys have a losing varsity record? And they were like, don't put that on there. And I was like, but Scott Kowalski would use this as motivation to get better the next year. So I hear Scott say that in my head, and so everybody's individual varsity record is on tonight's plaque. If you don't like it, get better. Right? So we also have a very, very smart freshman class. I think they raised our overall team GPA by a whole point. So, Huntley, you're one of those guys that we could rely on every day. Anything we asked, you went in, you did it, you accomplished it, and we had no hesitation that it would be done the right way. I think one of my biggest mistakes this year is I confused you and Logan in a match, and the gym was dead quiet, and I said the wrong name. That's usually something Marsh would do. So thank you so much. We know what we've got at that table, and with you helping to lead the helm, we're in a good position. Thank you, sir. Huntley, number 2, Logan. All right, look how this works, everyone, before you come up here. And you're going to shake my hand. And you're going to stand here. Perfect. All right. Everything I've said so far I can say about you too, but I want to say individually, throughout the history of me coaching this program, I can tell you on one hand the guys that I hate to wrestle. Not because they're just bigger than me or stronger, but because I can't do anything with them. And so after about the first week of season, I go to the assistant coaching staff. I was like, I cannot do anything with Logan. It's like wrestling Dayton. It's like a big tree out there. Like I can't move it. All right? And that is something to say. Like you, when you finally get into your mentality, are going to be so successful on that mat. So when I don't like wrestling you, that's a real good sign. Trust me. Congratulations. One thing I can say about this group, but Dad, you especially, when you come in as a freshman and we have a successful football program as we do, and they go deep into the playoffs, we often have to call up our JV and our freshmen. And Dabs, one of the best things about you is you went in that varsity lineup knowing you were going to be facing juniors and seniors, more experienced, more talented, stronger than you, without question. And the way that you selflessly gave your all to the team, knowing that you were going in there possibly for a loss and give it all you got for your brothers is outstanding. And I think I pulled you aside early on and I was like, Dad, I see future leadership in you, and I still do every day. Thank you for what you did throughout this program, and I know you're going to be better every day. Thank you, sir. All right, Big Mac. So I have Big Mac in class, right? And all year I'm hearing, oh, we're gonna have this kid come, he's gonna push Ronan, we're gonna have him. I'm like, when's he coming? When's he coming? I was like, Ronan's killing us. So finally, I talked to him, I was like, man, I need you up here. And the same thing, this freshman class has drive and heart like no other. You stepped in that room and you went after it. And then every time I saw you on the wrestling mat, you were just as aggressive and competitive. Watching you take on guys who were older than you, more mature than you, juniors and seniors, and putting them on their back, I know we have a good replacement coming in for him whenever he leaves. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing what you do. Thanks, brother. Schmidt. Man, we have this many juniors. Hey, buddy. So, Tyson's one of those guys who oftentimes I'm like, man, I don't really know how badly you want to be in this practice today. And Tyson very bluntly would tell me, I don't. I'm like, I value your honesty. Tyson, you stepped in us all season when we need varsity wrestler. And to see your tenacity on the mat, to see you in the move, and the fact that you would go to anybody in the practice room I put you with, especially going into that postseason, and you come out when I needed you to work these guys, you did it without hesitation. Love seeing you grow from year to year, and you got 2 years still ahead of you. Thank you, brother. Nathan Simpson.
Don't squeeze that hand too hard.
Oh, there it went.
So this year, I think Nathan, we had good conversations coming into the season where our goals were, and Nathan got a taste of state last year and knew he wanted to go even further this year, and those were our anticipation and our goals too. And for you to come in and you're making your own history because now you have won region twice, and you are a 2-time sectional winner. I mean, you keep going, you could be the first 4-time sectional winner because section started last year. So, but you had an amazing year. And you started peaking later as the season go on. Just watching you and Thomas in practice really push each other, and it looked to see that you both end up on the medal stand. So Thomas and Nathan are both those guys to where sometimes I'm like, man, are they really going, pushing each other? But then they both have the end results. And so I don't really have to worry about them because they're pushing each other and they have a drive. So you're one of the best wrestlers we have, and you're going to continue to lead this program, and we look forward to seeing you back on that medal stand. Thanks, brother. Is Sparky here? Oh, he's soccer player. Alex Hutchins? All right. Giannotti! So we had Giannotti for the entire length of the season this year, and it showed. Giannotti, it's really one of those guys where I can say, hey, can you do this? It's the little things. Can you drill with them? Can you mop mats today? Can you help us move this? Do you mind stepping in and going this way class? And without hesitation, it's yes. I think one of the things that makes our program so great, and the athletic director at Spring Hill said it best. After we left sectionals, he came up to us and he said, Coach, he goes, your guys are what I want every sports team at Spring Hill to look like. And it's because of guys like you, Giannotti, that make us that kind of program. The leadership that you're going to bring as you continue in this program is going to be unprecedented. Thank you for all you do. Nate Hope. Alright, so Nate came to me, and they're like, you're getting this wrestler from Columbia Central. And I'm like, okay. So I did my research, and I looked him up, and he had a winning JV record, and I was like, I'll take it. So the first time I get in the room with him, and he just tried to manhandle me, and then I beat him. And I go up to Dylan, and I'm like, okay. So here's what I think about Nate. He's like a block of clay. just a hard block of clay. And he's very durable, he's real tough. I said, now it's our job to mold that clay. And that's exactly what we did. And one of the best matches I saw all year was a wrestle-off he had with Reese. Okay? I think Reese underestimated him a little bit, to be honest with you. But the fact that you were there every day and you were asking questions and you were applying everything we said in the practice room, I think that's where you see the success. I mean, you were winning all those JV matches and you were winning matches against better kids that maybe you shouldn't have. I am so thankful that you're in this program. And I know our goal is to get you on that varsity medals team too. Thank you, brother. Ethan. So Ethan is returning as a two-time state qualifier now. Possibly still works to be a four-time state qualifier. We have certain guys in this program that every year we have one guy that just, I think the rest of the team like votes on him. And they're like, you're going to be the guy this year that asks so many questions, we don't have to run as much. Grant was that early on. Grant, like his sophomore year. Maybe last year. And then, Hose asked a lot of questions, but I'm like, Hose is genuinely asking. And then Ethan would just ask the dumbest questions and I was like, I think he is doing this to stall. But, Ethan, you bring a sense of lightheartedness to us. Sometimes when we're so serious, it helps ground me as a coach and brings me back to be like, oh, these are just some guys too, and I gotta keep that in mind. I love watching you wrestle. Sometimes you frustrate me out of my mind to the point that I'm glad Chase and Dylan take 182 and up. All right? But the fact that I get to see you on the sidelines and see what you accomplish, especially when you put your mind to it, is amazing. Congratulations. So I will say about the freshmen is they jumped in that varsity lineup while football was still there, and man, when the football players came back, they had to get in some shape. And I think I looked at Grayson and I was like, bro, whew, you got to really get in shape. But you did. And you suffered, an injury this year, and that's the thing about you. If you don't know Grayson, he's a three-sport athlete. And at Page, and I know this because I deal with all the athletes, we have 9 athletes at Page that play 3 sports, and you are one of those 9. We are so looking forward to what you can bring as a junior and a senior. Just your overall athleticism and your grit on that mat is unbelievable. And we know that you're going to get better. Thank you, sir. So Brady has a heart of gold. Like he is not afraid of anything, and will go out on the mat against anybody and trust us to do it. And he's the epitome of a team player. Whatever I ask Brady to do, he's going to do. We as a coaching staff have joked, and we're like, listen, we're going to send Brady to a throwing camp and let him just throw people out of the gym next year. And I'm seriously considering it, to be honest with you, because I think you could do really well at it. But we appreciate everything you bring, and the fact that every one of these guys here loves watching you on the mat is a testament to how much you mean to this program. Thank you, brother. All right, moving on to our juniors. All right, JT. absolute everything to this program. We needed him to really strive to make weight in the postseason. For us to win region and sectional, we needed him to make weight, and he did that. He made a lot of sacrifices and made it down there. But JT, what you do in the practice room and on the mat is just so fun to watch because it's so pure. Just to see you go out there and compete. The fun fact about JT, everybody, is he loves snakes. His mama can testify. If you want to know anything about snakes, let him run the car with you. Right? He'll even tell you how to breed snakes. That was news to me. And he's got 2 more. So if you want to buy something for JT for Christmas, buy him some snakes. So, kid, we love you, and we can't wait to see what you do one more year. Thanks. Oh, this is so good because I can tie in the snakes. Cosmo! Cosmo, everybody in this room loves and supports you and loves what you did. You talk about making sacrifices for this team and really pushing to make weight. This kid right here did it, and did it hard. He would come with me and watch film and study matches and just really wants to do the best job he can do on the mat and selflessly gives his all for it. So like I said, I don't remember everything, but I don't forget this one. We're talking about snakes one day with JT in practice. I have never in my life seen Cosmo flustered, ever, until this day. And I was like, JT, and it's probably because I was tired of hearing about snakes. But I was like, JT, go over there and tell Cosmo about snakes. And he does. And all of a sudden, this is what I see. Out of Cosmo. And I was bothered. I'm like, whoa. And I was like, Cosmo, what's wrong? And he was like, Coach, what can you do with a snake? You can't walk a snake? He was like, JT, this is just stupid. And I was like, all right, I know how to motivate Cosmo. So, Cosmo, you know how much you mean to this program. We love you, and we thank you for everything you do. We got one more year ahead of us. Thanks, brother.
Now, Angelo.
So, Cal got to experience it first, and I'm so glad wrestling was able to provide that for him. He had never had surgery before. So, Cal is one of the kids that comes in, and he is just hard-nosed on the mat. He and Landon, if they wrestled as big a game as they both talk, they'd be national champions. But Cal comes in and he wrestles every day, and so we're at the JV tournament, and the kid illegally throws Cal. And Cal comes off the mat, he's like, is it broke? And his bone is broken. And I'm like, please go to the doctor. But he did text me later, and he was like, that's some good medicine, Coach. And I was like, I bet it was. Cal, you know I love you. I'd do anything for you, and I'm so glad you're in this program. Thanks, brother. So Tyler is one of those guys that gets better every year. And we always get him a little short-sighted because he's committed as a dual athlete. But as soon as he comes in, as soon as he's able to come in our wrestling room, he's there. And oftentimes he'll come in earlier than he probably should. Tyler really made it through several matches to a lot of pain. and really battled through some injuries for us because we needed him to. And that's the heart and the willpower that makes us as successful as we are. And I know your season was cut just a little bit short, but we know that what you've got ahead of you, because every day I know you're going to get stronger in that room, and I know what you bring to the table. Love you, brother. Oh boy. So, Landon loves to smack talk me before practice. And I love to give it back once I get there. You're one of those two that you knew where you're at. Landon knew his position on the team this year. He knew there were varsity guys ahead of him. He knew that if I needed him up a weight class, he was going to go there. And if I needed him down a weight class, as much as he hated it, he would go down there for us. And that's one of the things I like about you, is that you trust the process and you do anything for these guys in this room. All right? We got one good year, and I know we'll get all that I can out of it. Thanks, brother. Cooper is undefeated this year, 2-0. So, Cooper went out last season and came back this season. Really looking at a good season. It came out, it was 2 strong matches. And then we just decided, hey, we're not going to push it because we still got a year ahead of us. But Cooper's still there. Practices, matches. It's really the heart of what a teammate is when they can't be on the mat. And so, Cooper and I talk every day. Cooper give me his opinion on the duels and what it looked like last night because he'd come in and have lunch and he knows wrestling and he loves wrestling. And sometimes it takes being out to really grasp the strategy behind it and how things work, and Cooper really grasped that. And really the best thing about this year is Cooper and I really set a good goal for senior year to be 220, and his family's really on board with that. So, Cooper, we look forward to having you 1 year, okay? 285. Yes. So, literally, we can make a law firm called Kowalski, Meeks, O'Connell. These guys never leave one another. Like, right after the state finals, I look at Ronan's mom and I'm like, where's Ronan? She's like, oh, he's going to Watch Outer Banks with his buddies. I'm like, who does that? These guys are inseparable. They eat in my office every day. I have no peace, all right? But I'm okay with it. The fact that what you did this year is unbelievable. Like, I hope you really understand and grasp how proud we are of you. Because what he did is he went down in the lineup, not only to make the team better, but give an opportunity for Caleb and Ronan to be in the lineup, for all of them to be in the varsity lineup. You made an ultimate sacrifice. All right? And I think it shows. The success you had this year shows. And that you get to stay and wrestle like you did through region section, I am so proud of you for what you accomplished. And I'm so thankful that you're in our program. Love you, kid. Ryan Kowalski. Yeah, shake his good hand. So I was so pumped because I was getting both Kowalskis this year. So both of them. And so we're going to have a good lineup, 95 to heavyweight. We could bump guys, move guys around. And I was not even in the room when this happened. I don't know where I was at. But I get this message that Ryan is injured. Or no, it's at a match. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I hurt my hand the other day. I'm like, how do you hurt your hand? He's like, I was trying to throw during our warm-ups. And I was like, yep, that pretty much sums the IQ of our team right there. Man, what you did to come out and to wrestle. Actually, I was so hopeful because you about beat your brother down. And I was like, okay, Ron's not going to be that bad when he was just playing around on the mat. So hopefully next year, you can be out an entire year without injuring anything. And I can have all of you in the line. Thank you. Also, that's why. It says 0-1 because I thought your dad would want me to put it on there. I don't know if y'all know this, but Kason and Caleb are related. And if you think about it, yeah, it makes sense. So Caleb, you had an exceptional year. I think you can agree. You were cut short with an injury. I have never in my life, in my career in wrestling, heard of the injury that a wrestler gets. He got an injury that a baseball pitcher gets. And the thing is I look at him in the region tournament and I'm like, you've got to go out here and give it one more chance to at least get to sectional and qualify. Not only are you going to help us win as a team, but if you don't at least give it a try, you're going to regret it your entire life. And he did, and he accomplished that. Which I know saddened him because he really wanted to wrestle Twinkie first round of the sectional tournament. But really, one of the successes this year is that you finally beat the Cascade Kid. We are so proud of you, and we know we have one more good year with you. One. Thank you. Ronan O'Connell. I don't care. I look up to him every day. Ronan, I've told you this personally, like, what you accomplished in the short time you did is amazing. You took 2 years, and you trust the process, and you leaned on your teammates, and you learned, and you became a state finalist. And I know that's not the end goal, but you accomplished something that very, very few of us ever get to, and that's being a state finalist. Not only that, but Ronan was selected to be part of the Middle Tennessee Dream Team. He is only the 3rd member Paige has ever had in school history, and that will be achieved. Ronan, we thank you for everything you've done, the way you represent us. It is a proud moment for us to be able to sit in your corner, all right? I'll give you a funny story. Ronan qualifies for the state finals, and this is a funny story about Chase and Dylan regarding Ronan. We let them, I trust them, they put their bodies on the line every day wrestling the big guys, all right? So they can coach them in their corner. But I'm sitting there, and I'm talking about, well, Marsha and I will have to get our suits, make sure you get your suits. And Dylan mouths something to Chase. And I turn around and I say, I'm still going to let you in the corner. We're just wearing suits too. He was afraid I wasn't going to let him coach Ronan. I'm never ever going to take that away from him, ever. So, you're awesome. You're great. We're so thankful you're here. And all of us in this room wish you nothing but success in any endeavor you use going forward. Love you, brother. Okay. Seniors, I will ask you to speak briefly. Some of you have prepared something a little longer. I know that. I told you in class today you didn't have to write that speech, but you did anyway. Okay? Every senior class that we have come through pages is uniquely different. They all mean something different to all of us. You all are historically one of the best, if not the best program ever to come through. And I could go on. I sometimes get emotional at our banquets when I talk about you seniors. Because you bring something, and it's hard to see you all leave. It really is. Because we watch you grow. Our end goal in our wrestling program, we don't know how good we did until 5, 10 years down the line. Until I see the fathers and the husbands and you know the CEOs and the doctors. They often tell us wrestlers don't make doctors, but we've had one doctor graduate from our program. But to see you all grow is really what means the most to us. I hope that you all have taken something away from our program and know that we truly and genuinely love each and every one of you. I would take a bullet for you in a non-vital part of my body, but I would. All right. So, you do have to say something, but we're going to start with Miss Allie Williams. So, Allie was with us all year, and Dylan was our official head girls coach, but every one of us was in Allie's corner. Every one of us was helping her in practice. And it means the world to us that you stuck it out. Allie was one match away in the blood round from qualifying for the state tournament. And I know how badly you wanted it. And we wanted it for her. We were watching on the computer in the practice room because we wanted it so badly for you. You are one of us, and you will always be one of us. You have sweat, you have bled, and you have cried, just like everyone at this table. And you have earned the right to be part of the Page program, and we love you for it. So just personally from me and the coaching staff, we love you. I'm so proud of you for this letter, because those are going to be like, that was great for you. I just ruined half their speeches.
I'd like to start off by thanking everyone who's been there for me. So how about I talk? First, I'd like to thank my parents and my family for supporting my decision to wrestle and being proud of me when I won or lost. I'd also like to thank the team for welcoming me and practicing with me.
You're right. They can't even spell it.
Thank you especially to the coaches who are the real reason I stayed on the team. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing here today. And lastly, the biggest thank you possible to the wrestling moms. Y'all support and sweet smiling faces at every tournament and warn me when you let me know. Especially y'all showing up to my last matches made me feel so loved, and I don't have the words for how grateful I am. For those of you who don't know, I started last year's season and ended up having to take a break after the first preseason tournament. My health was pretty bad, and I was in and out of the hospital. I considered quitting at the beginning of the school year, but a certain Benji Gray made me feel confident enough to stay. Coming back to wrestling after all of my issues is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, but also one of my biggest triumphs. It was even part of my saving grace. Doing something so hard, surrounded by so many good people, is an experience that makes you who you are. This team, these coaches, this family has changed and saved my life. Wrestling gave me something I never thought was possible, and have confidence. My entire life I've always been shy and reserved, but now I am confident in who I am, and I owe it all to the people in this room, this program, and this sport. I especially owe it to my idiot boyfriend. love me like I found. Thank you for all being part of
I probably should have Allie go last. All right, first up, we're going by weight class. One of the winningest wrestlers in Page history, Mr. Thomas Brown. So, Thomas, at the beginning of the year, I looked at Thomas and I was like, Thomas, I don't lie to this team. I'm straight with them. And I looked at Thomas and I said, Thomas, you know how to wrestle. You're going to go out there and wrestle. And when you need me to coach you, we'll be in your corner. That's it. And I don't have to do a lot of coaching with Thomas. But I will tell you right now, one of my favorite moments, and I will remember it, is after you won your region and your sectional, and you come over and you look at us and you're like, I shake your hand and you're like, now you give me a hug. And that meant the world to me, kid. It really did. I love everything about you. Your drive and your tenacity. And the fact that you set your goals and you go after them. And when you need help, you ask for help, and otherwise you do it on your own. And we are so successful because of what you've done since day one when you beat the senior from Fairview and you're like, I don't know, big deal, whatever. Yeah. So right now, the senior walking off with one of the most historical winning records in history. Thanks, kid. Everybody on the phone's ready. Now say something.
You might want to lower your expectations a little bit. I'm going to try to keep it short like most of my matches, but... First, I want to say thank you to all the coaches. You guys made it really special, helped me grow throughout the years. Next off, thank you to my family for driving me to matches, just supporting me and being in every single one. And lastly, thank you to all you guys. You guys really made it special for me. Thank you.
Aiden. So, Aiden's been with us for 4 years, and his season got cut a little short. But he came to me and we had a heartfelt discussion. And Aiden looked at me, he's like, Coach, I really got to focus on graduating, and I got to do what's best for me and my future. And just the fact that your maturity and your ability to come have that conversation with me is exactly what I hope that all of you all have. That you have that ability and that confidence to sit and have a mature conversation when it comes time. But know that just because you were with us a short time this year doesn't mean that you're not part of this family or part of the success, because throughout 4 years you've helped build that. So we wish you the best of luck in all you do, and you're always welcome back here.
I'm gonna be honest, I had my whole plan moved earlier. But I do want to say this was some of the most fun 4 years I've ever had. And I owe it to you all.
The idiot boyfriend. So, watching you grow as a wrestler is exactly what we as coaches hope. You come in, you're young, you're naive, you do some really, really simple and dumb things, and then you progress like you should. And not only that, you've progressed as a young man. And you have felt confident when it comes time to have hard conversations, you can come have those conversations with me. And that's what means the most to me, is that you have matured into the type of person who can come in and talk to any of us anytime about anything non-wrestling or about the sport itself. And I think you really achieved your goals this year in getting to state, and that's one of the best things we wanted for you. You Mo just had a run of luck when it comes to your first draws. So, I'm so thankful you're part of this program and that you came into our lives, and I hope that we've made an impact in yours. Love you, kid.
I wasn't gonna make it. I was just gonna wing it because I didn't want to make my speech too sad and plan it out. Because my speech was probably gonna be pretty sad. So I just want to say that Benji specifically, I appreciate everything everyone else did for me, but specifically Benji, I had the most important conversation with you I've ever had probably in my entire life. When Allie went to the hospital for the second time, I came to you, and I told you I was probably going to leave practice, and if I left practice, I was probably going to quit the team. And you told me, I don't think you were thinking about me, you were thinking about winning the team. You told me I had to stay for my teammates and my team, and so I did. I didn't like it, but it gave me a purpose, and it helped me.
Grant Hawkinson. I think you all know our boys as well as we do. Grant, you're an amazing young man, and you're one of the best wrestlers we've ever had come through this program, hands down. A testament to what kind of person you are is Grant suffered an injury that pulled him out of the state tournament. And the next day, when Grant didn't show up to weigh-ins, it spread like a wildfire through the state tournament. Where's Grant? And we had coaches and wrestlers and officials from all around the state ask about Grant. And that right there is a testament to how much you mean to this sport. You're an amazing young man, and you're completely a part of why we're so good. And to watch you progress from where you were on day one to walk out of this room tonight is one of the things we strive as coaches to see. We are so blessed to have had you here. And remember, no matter what, we were always a state finalist. We love you, brother.
So, I was going to plan a speech, but I would have definitely cried, so I could not make a speech. But first off, I want to thank God for the blessing with the opportunity to wrestle these 4 years, for keeping me healthy. Next, I want to thank my parents and my grandma for supporting me. I want to thank my coaches for always being there with me. And I want to thank you guys, too. I have one last gift.
To open in case of emergency. I'm going to put this in a glass case and only break it when it's absolutely necessary. Grant, we love you, kid. Thank you for everything you've given us. Charles Crocodile Strasser. So, Croc came to me and had a good conversation. He said, hey, Croc suffered something that none of us would ever want anyone to go through, and he lost his mother, who was very special to us as well. And It's a testament to how much we love her, we love you and your father, because we were there for you every day. And he said, can I still be part of the team? And I said, you're not quitting. That's not an option. And he said, well, what if I can't do it every day? And I said, well, you come and go as you please. And I said, you do whatever you need, but know that we're family and we're always here for you. And that will never change, ever. No matter where life takes you, we'll always be here for you. And we love you, we love your dad, and we will love your mom always. Thank you for all you've given us for 4 years.
I have to be in the middle for attention purposes. I think that there's a lot of people here from my first year did not expect me to be here. That was me included. I fully expected to be done after the very most of my second year. And to kind of force myself to keep going was one of the greatest things that I ever did. I've made so many friends that I'm going to know for the rest of my life that I've probably been closer to than anyone I'll ever meet. And it's truly just been one of the greatest years of my life. And I was not confident, and so I decided to show up to a wrestling practice because Cannon told me he was scared to wrestle the big kids. And so I show up, and they're on the track running, and I say, thank God I don't have to run today. And I walk up to Benji, and I say, I'm here to join the wrestling team. He says, have you ever done this before? No. So you think you can just show up here and join the wrestling team? Sure. And that was the start of something that I have the greatest love-hate relationship with. And I'm so thankful that I'm here with all of you tonight. It means the world to me.
Brooks Garner. All right. We don't give an award. We've never given an award for most improved or driven award or any of that. A lot of teams do things like that. But Brooks, what you did this year is fantastic. If you've been in our program for a while, Brooks waited in the wings. There was always a wrestler better than him, and he waited. And JV, and he knew, and he knew. And even this year, Brooks lowered his weight lower than he's been in years because he knew where his teammates were ahead of him. And because of that sacrifice, you've gotten better every year, wrestling those better guys, and then making the sacrifice this year, and the success that you had, qualifying, getting to state, and bringing a historic record to this team. We as a coaching staff have talked about it endlessly, how proud we are of you. And that's all, nothing but truth behind it. Thank you for everything you've given this program for 4 years. Now, jokingly, Brooks was like, can I put a presentation together? And I said, sure. And he did. So everyone, for the first time ever, this is a senior presentation.
As you can see, this is my senior speech. I'm going to do it on a slideshow. So how does one turn speech into a slideshow? And then you have to commit to the joke. So here we are. I sacrificed it. You can see I have 100 consoles. I was going home and eating every day. I was like, oh, that's not okay. So there's my artist rendition. And as I talk about like the sacrifices we all make, people cutting away, getting hurt, fighting through pain, it really does mean a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you to all my teammates. And then the coaches. I think as a wrestler, we expect the coaches to give a lot for us, and we don't really understand how much they're sacrificing. They're spending just as much time as we are, and most likely more. They are giving more than we are, and I think that should be noted. And then, yeah, I want to talk about unity and how really you bring
bring a group of guys together, and you don't really know each other. I didn't know any of these guys, and over the past 4 years, I was like pretty good friends with most of them. Here's a timeline I made. As you see from the red line to the right all the way to March, that's the wrestling season. Everything else, that's not matter. Alright, and then I decided to take a rough timeline. I've done some calculations in. We spent roughly 440 hours together with a group of guys. And I think that means a lot. I mean, 120 hours in 1 month, that's a long time. I think if you serve in the stadium, it's been a long time for people. Alright, I'm just trying to change your mind. We talk about the pillars, what you're supposed to hold yourself to, especially in matches. And then the coaches teach you, let others speak for you, work hard, make this easy, rest for your teammates. And then holding each other accountable. I feel like this is the highest level because I feel like this is something we gotta do for each other. And don't be the reason your teammates fail. No one wants to be that guy. And then their mistakes are yours too. Because when they messed up, you gotta go make up for it. And yeah, relationship. I suppose they show up. I found this slide. So I rank the apparel. I think of course it's definitely the best apparel. Yeah, there's my part. That's kind of like, in my mind, I was like, if I did this a little serious, we practice hard, dual 60 stars, practice makes it easier, varsity becomes fine, best condition, then try to place, that's like the ultimate goal. And then I kind of carried away, and I didn't really focus on all that much. Okay, this is the rise and fall of tights in thing. For everyone who doesn't know, every Tuesday Josh will wear tights. See the mic. And so you can see there's just one person. And then it becomes two. That was everyone else. Just one other person. It happened to reason. And then he did like this going back to just Alright, so for those who know, this Antonio was considered a rather hard boss at chess. So we were sitting at the state duels and no one was wrestling. And I watched Cannon for like 2 hours trying to beat this guy. Everyone's trying to place. He finally beat him. Wow. This is another cool slide around the SWOT analysis. So the strengths are, we are very well conditioned and technical at wrestling. A weakness, we don't know how to wrestle. Threats, teams that know how to wrestle. And our opportunities, there's still time to learn how to wrestle. And at the bottom, it's the wrestle. It's an infrequent use spelling of the word wrestle, which is defined in tussle or physically fight with someone. Next to coaches, we have Big G, Coach Marcia, Nurse Tony, and Coach yeah, that's it. That's just some cool quotes. You guys can all read out.
I saw that. I was like,
That was amazing. I will have Brooks email me that, and then I'll send that out in a weekly email so y'all have that PowerPoint file. Right? That would be great. I want to show you in that preseason meeting next year. Thank you very much, so they know what to expect. And every bit of it was accurate, especially the Josh statistic. Speaking of Mr. Tights himself, Mr. Josh Ward. So, Josh is one of those kids that he knows how to wrestle, and he loves to wrestle. And we have watched you develop into not only a better wrestler every year, but a better young man every year. We are so proud that you are taking your wrestling to the next level. You're one of two that we've seen go to the next level. And we are so encouraged of the foundation that you take with us to Gardner Webb. And we hope that you take something from us to make their program even better. Josh, every time you step on the mat, it was one of those things to where I knew that you were going to do whatever it took to make this team win. Sometimes more flashy than it needed to be, but ultimately with the win. And I think your record says it for itself. Thank you for an amazing 4 years, and we wish you the best of luck in Gardner Webb.
Alright, so I'm not really good at speeches, but I guess I'll give one. So, I mean, I'm just thankful for everyone, my parents. I mean, I wouldn't be able to wrestle and then go to college for wrestling. I mean, my dad's helped me out a lot with that. I mean, he did like all the work pretty much. And driving me, and like, the joke is that how hard is that drive gonna be? And I haven't drove it yet, so I don't know, because I was sleeping in the back. And, but I'm really thankful for the team and the coaches pushing me and knowing how good I can be. And you guys showed me what I can do and help me. Yeah, thank you.
Reese, you rank right up there with the guys that I don't want to wrestle. You came into the season, in my opinion, the physically, mentally, and technically strongest you've ever been. You would wrestle me every day like it was a national championship match. And I was like, stop clubbing me in the face. And then I finally got to the point, Dylan was like, you're going to have to stop telling him that because he gets soft on the mat. So I was like, all right, Reese, you can keep clubbing me in the face. What you did this year is excellent. To come back from a down point, being sick, and coming back in, and going up a weight class, getting back to where we needed to be, and going wherever we needed to be for this team is the heart. And you're right there. We all wanted it for you. But the thing is, you came off every match smiling because you loved wrestling. And your love for this sport and your love for this program is one of the greatest things that I take away knowing you. Thank you for everything. We know you're going to do great.
All right, so I'd like to start off by thanking my coaches, Benji, Marsh, Dylan, Tony, Dayton, both the Winers. But I thank both my parents, even though my mom couldn't be here today. You know, they drove me to things, they helped push me really hard for everything. But I really like to thank my teammates. You guys are just like a family. I mean, we've become tighter than anybody else because we're bleeding and sweating and just suffering together. And I think there's nothing that brings us any closer than that. You know, we've had some amazing moments. Throughout like the 4 years, I made so many great tournaments together. Even when the tournaments they sucked. Just being with them made it so much better. And I truly feel like this program has turned me into a better man. It's made me realize what hard work can get you. If I wasn't in this program, I don't think I would be as good of a wrestler as I am. And I'd like to thank you guys for that. But I'd like to end it with something that Benji always said that I'm going to try to keep for the rest of my life is, what is harder, practice or a match? It's always practice. So I just got to make sure to always practice and work hard for things I want. Thank you, Coach.
So, I know everybody always dogs Grant on getting Heart of the Team award last year, but if I were to give Heart this year, Connor, I'd give it to you. Connor, you gave everything you had to this team. Wrestling's not your sport, but you came out and you stuck with it. And one of the best things is, I think you had a hard conversation with all of us in one day. I think that included V. And I didn't know where you were going to go. And in my heart, more than anything, I was like, I hope he doesn't walk out that door because you meant this much to me, these coaches and these guys, and you did. And you stuck it out. And the reason we have all these accolades is because you helped get us there. I know it was short, and you weren't with us the whole time, but the time that you were with us, you made a difference. I promise you that. Thank you for everything, brother. We love you.
Alright, I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. I didn't really like wrestling at first. I tried it in middle school, just wasn't for me. I didn't get the coaching I needed. I just didn't know what I was doing out there. But I mean, freshman year rolled around and Benji came up to me with one of my football coaches and said, "You should wrestle." If y'all know how Benji is, he's got away with words. I'm sure his wife knows the most. So,
she said yes.
So that winter rolls around after football season. I got nothing to do. So, innocent freshman, little me, just walked into that wrestling room. I didn't know what I got myself into. I mean, I already knew Chase, who's a freshman football coach at the time. I knew Benji, but I mean, I didn't know Dylan, I didn't know Marsh. I was like, who's this Mr. Miyagi looking dude? Dylan, I never seen this dude in my life. I could already tell he hated me, but you know, I learned to grow a bond with these four men. They've got that formula and that practice room down to a T. I've learned more in that room than I think I have anywhere in a school classroom. But you know, they go in there, they mean business. They get you right, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm just really proud and thankful for those four men and all the wrestlers, all my 4 years. I mean, I walked into that room as a freshman. I met so many new people, and I'm so glad I did. I still talk to all of them this day. I'm just really glad to be a part of something special. You know, you gotta come from a different cloth to wrestle. It teaches you a lot about life. It teaches you a lot about who the person you are. And I'm very glad that I did that. And I've taken a lot away from it, and I'm really proud of that. So thank you very much for these 4 years. I had a good time.
All right, so I was told that Chase, Dylan, and I have to open our gifts in front of everyone. Is that correct? That's correct. All right. Oh, at the same time.
Get on stage. Hey, get on stage. Come on. Why, you don't want to break it?
We got these shirts because we were told that we would actually wear these shirts, and Marsh would be like, no. Thank you all very much. I think we have a special. Alan, you're a man of many words. You want to take the mic? You know.
We just wanted to thank Cole because he was there for all of our JV tournaments, even though they seemed to last forever, especially JV State. That was probably the worst brand tournament I've ever been to.
We won't go to that next year, by the way, I promise you. Oh, you got to show your shirt. I did. What did you do? So if you all don't know, we are very blessed in our program. In our lives, we are blessed that Coach Marsh's dad comes to our matches. And so they have gotten him a Page Wrestling shirt. so he can actually look official at our matches. Everyone, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, what can I say? Seniors, all of you, our door is always open. And we hope and pray that you take something with the rest of your life, with one little thing that you've learned with us. And you know, it's always said best, and I always shoot people straight when you come into our program, and I ask you, say wrestling's hard. It'll be one of the hardest things you ever do in your life. We had 52 guys signed up for wrestling, and we ended up with 36. I've never cut anybody from our program, but some people just can't take it. Unless you've wrestled, you'll never know what it's like. And you guys in this room will always be able to share those moments because you all wrestled together. Parents, everyone, thank you for an amazing year. Let's do it again in like 8 months. Thank you, everyone.